It's cat grass. I bought some. I saw that in the farmer's market. Homegrown cat grass.
Farmers market can call it whatever they want.
The cat's grass.
Yeah, the name that. How else are you going to sell it? It's not the name of this. Anyway, we're going to piss around, and we already have the first kill. First blood has been drawn. Smia's dead. He's dead. Now Tabson, what? This is a dangerous position. This is a really dangerous position.
This is one of the worst angles in Counter-Strike, I feel like.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh dear.
It is. It's just so exposed. There's literally nothing you can do. Playing against headshot position. Pretty rough. Nice flash from Hunter. Not going to help him. Xantaurus cannot be flashed. Cannot be killed.
Oh, goddamn. He is ready, and so is Tizian, looking sharp from start to finish. Tizian finds the sharp end of an object, though, and down he goes. Xantaurus is now looking for 2 more. Spots one in CT. Surely there's time to try and do this. No kit to be found. He finds the bomb, but there's no way, surely. Bosky has no idea. One tap, and there's a defuse kit. Xantaurus.
Hunting's going to be sad because he's the one that gave up that first kill long on the flank. He just takes its time a little bit. Could have gone a different way.
Xantaurus is the Terminator. He's gone Terminator mode.
That's in theaters now.
I really enjoy that he uses mouse excel because it used to be so cool back in the old days whereby you could really tell who was playing without seeing the name of the player. If you watched, you could just know who that guy is. I mean, you can do it with some CS:GO players. Like, I'm 100% sure I could identify Shocks, for example. You know, they just have certain types of mouse movements. But these days, everyone kind of uses the same settings, the same sensitivities. It's actually surprised me since I've been looking into it how many people use exactly the same stuff.
All bells have been rung. Do you miss the days when you could spray the car position through the wall?
I do. I miss the days that you spent the first 30 seconds of rounds observing, spamming. I mean, that's it. Yeah. I don't know if I miss it, but
it's a nostalgia thing, though, isn't it? It's like at it in its time, it was really awesome. But if you made that the case now, it wouldn't necessarily bring back the memories of then when you were younger and you had different priorities and things.
It would suck. It's historic. Let's leave it that way, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. Although there are wall banks to be had on the new cache, which are really interesting.
I think they've effectively nullified the creeps this round, and I like that a lot.
The Tabson's flashes were pretty sick.
Yeah, flashes have been a big part of the story. A constant in the timeline of this game. How many bullets were in the MP9? I'm guessing he doesn't want to reload to reveal his position, but that will certainly do it. The Creeks collected 29 bullets remain. There's the first 1v1. Nobody by the window. 2 players, both by the mid doors. 19 seconds. The bomb is the prize. He's got his eyes on the prize. And Big are going to let him take it. They're going to start to swing as he looks away. He will get tagged with the scout. There will be upgrades for Big. And they're 2-0.
Xantaurus is going to get 40 kills.
Are you going to pick a player every day to get 40 kills? It was 43 specifically yesterday for Playmeth.
I know, I was tempering it a little bit now. Learn my lesson. Just mere 40 this time.
You know what I don't like about that round from Tricked is they had Kriegs and guns in general, and they went upper B, then they went mid. They completely ignored the long-range battles of Cat, Long. So it's a little bit of an odd decision for them.
Yeah, I definitely hear you there. Give Tabson a few engagements. Yeah, it is always a bit odd when you see a team pick a certain rounds, have certain criteria which would be the strongest way to run that round, but then they do something that plays into away from the strengths of what that round could be, given what they have. It happens a bit too much as well.
Might be a caveat too of how Hunden likes to call. He probably doesn't really like those kind of partial buys where it's more about just individuals making plays. He likes a little bit more structure. So not super surprised.
That's a good point.
Going deep with Smooya. He's got the angle. He has
He
enough
has
cover to fall back,
He hits these.
according to Sliggy.
1 bullet. How many kills? Will they line up for him?
Ooh, they're baiting. Now he's got a problem. He hits 2. He kills 2. Can he do it with 3rd? He can. Smooya looking for the 4th now. Just buying time, baiting. There's a flashbang from his teammate. Perfect timing. A flick through the corner of the wall. Won't hit the mark, but he has held somehow. He has held on his own. 3 players, no trade. Tag from 21 to 18. Maybe Connor was onto something because Smooya's looking good today.
Don't try this at home, kids. Do not defend that position with an AWP.
You've got to be
leave it to the professionals, please.
got to be a young, Larry UK lads. He's very familiar with Greg's.
He's done the rotation as
He
well.
pulled a glaive.
Excellent.
Yeah, he's done
Nobody even saw that.
the glaive. I like it. I like how many things are glaive things. That's you know, we've
Just
had
called winning glaive.
yeah.
You know, they're glaving. They just glaive around.
Repositions. The 3rd one was very unlikely. And the 4th one was a nice surprise. That's a devastating round from Smooya. Look what it's done to the economy of Tricked.
Yeah, bigger looking. Like this, I guess it kind of goes to what you were saying in the pre-game, James. Bigger looking really good right now. Like really, really good. Like everybody's really hitting their shots. The flashbangs are really good. And that's the thing, is like you have Tabson, you've got Smooya, you've got Xantares. Obviously Tizian and X are great as well, but the star potential in those 3 mentioned, if they're all actually having a good game, it's like, it doesn't matter really who you are. They are dangerous, very dangerous. We can see Trick struggling with this right now.
Xantares gets tagged. Trying to do something around the smoke, but he's pretty low now. Wonder what his intentions are with the smoke. You can see it pointed at the basket. Is it full of rice? Full of grain of some description. He's being very, very careful. There's a flash behind him. Great support from his teammates, running low on bullets, but taps it in here to clean up some taps. Not Jack in the Box. Is it Jack in the Box a hammer thing?
Whack-a-mole?
No, whack-a-mole. Jack in
But
the Box.
there's a name for it with Jack.
Hungry Hippo.
Yeah, but where does Jack come into it? Is it a UK thing? There's a Jack somewhere.
Jack in the Box is like a box. And then
There's a box,
pops
yeah.
out of the box. A guy, little clown, jokery looking guy. That's a Jack in the Box.
No, but I think there's another Jack.
There are a lot of jacks.
Lumberjack.
There's another name. There's another name for this game. I'm telling you. I'll get there. Somebody help me. I need help. It was a game in like old, you know, seaside places in the UK, and you'd smash things with hammers like rabbits or something.
Sounds like anarchy.
Yeah, Whack a Rabbit.
Did you just make up that name?
Jack
okay,
Rabbit.
someone will help me. We'll just have to let it go for now. I'm very lost. Tizian is trying to drop some weapons on the Tricked side.
That's a big kill.
It's a lot of information.
He was in T-spawn. That's interesting.
It's a great adjustment. I think you mentioned that, Valens, yesterday about Team Liquid, in fact, just taking the space that's given you and finding ways to make plays off of it. And we've got a 3v3 now where Big have that info. They have max utility still on the remaining players. That's really insane. If Trick played is too slow, that utility is just going to win the round. Smooya might do that as well. Catches
Nice
the
shot.
jump. That's beautiful. That's a great pick.
Pop. Man, I've got so many pop flashes on the big squad. And indeed, that utility is killing the time, and it's made them go from plan C to plan D, heading towards the B bomb site now, perhaps identifying that there are 2 players on A, but there's still 1 to deal with on B. Next, with a very tight angle, they line up from, there's an instant trade from Acor. 10 seconds, crosses the doors, no one has the angle, and now you wonder, maybe it's 50-50. Acor is that dangerous.
Yeah, he's not the guy you want to be facing in this situation. He's going to go for the pick. Oh, I'm not sure what that was about. He's going to find one anyway. Taps and crawling around. And now it's Smooya versus Acor. Who will be the king of the AWP in this game of Dust 2? It's all decided here. Acor's got a good position. He's trying to...
What is that? Why did he shot twice that round?
Yeah,
for no reason.
I don't know.
I mean, he was pre-firing obviously the first time, but still.
That's weird.
I don't know if that was
That has to be a
Bait?
The
mistake.
switches need some lubrication.
yeah, lube up.
There has to be a mistake.
Nuts.
I can't make any sense of that. I don't know what you could possibly gain from that.
It's also a classic way to play a 2v1. You hide, one guy goes in, then you just go in from the same angle. So Big played that pretty well.
The bait setups can be very, very good. And they keep the clean sheet, Big. An exchange on long could be very costly. Xantares will have to fall back. Next is not going to be saved. Annihilated through the smoke. Now Trick slow things down, so they look for an aggressive play in response from Big. Hunden might be doing that, looking towards B tunnels, but Smear's going through mid doors.
The really cool thing is that Big still have 3 smokes. They've still got incendiaries. Nice pick from Smooya. Well, they're going to retake the long position or try to do so. Still 2 players there, and Tizian will go down. Now it's Xantares. Terminator mode engaged. Let's see what he can find. That is the bomb here. That is the bomb. And that's the incendiary to block him from escaping. I think they must know that that's the bomb. Xantares, if he wins this 1v1, that might be the round. There's the flick trying to walk through the smoke. Bubsky could perhaps to try to wait it out, but again, a part of the reason why Big are having success is because they are holding onto their utility for dear life. That incendiary in the doors preventing the escape. That's awesome. When do you see that? That's really cool. Now Hunden has to clutch it against Smooya and Xantares. It's not a fun place to be. Xantares will finish him off.
Bonk.
I liked how that round started. They got long control, Trick did. But then it almost seemed like the long guys just said, hey, work your way up cat, we'll wait for you. You see here, Shush is walking up cat. And for some reason, that's not really how you should play the situation. The long guys probably should do like a flash at the corner right here, throw some cross smokes, then let the cat guy work. You baited out some pressure. But here, it was just, they waited for the cat guy. Cat guy got killed by Smooya, jumped out Xbox. Then your split is gone. You know, they know where you're at. I think it's a little bit of an odd decision after the initial long control, which is great.
See what Pinnacle think of this. They're disgusted. They are disgusted by the lack of rounds for Trick here. A 10-1
Where you at, Trick?
situation on the odds.
Where you at?
So they need to find something. This is still salvageable, but 7 rounds on the CT side is a huge amount of rounds, with the prospect for a lot more as well. This is a rough situation.
The scouts. Well, that's scary. Don't want to jump peek it though.
Oh. Oh my god.
God damn.
He's going to silence them 4.
He's glaving.
He's claving.
Okay. That's something. A bomb plant would be nice. Creating some space with some utility. Smooya is here though. Acor looks good for a bomb plant unless there's a jumping play. But Bubsky's running distraction in the meantime, stopping those jump peaks from the CTs. Damage won't be great, but the bomb plant will give them some bonus cash. Again, you plant the bomb, 4,200 you can always buy in a situation such as this where your loss bonus is at its maximum.
I have a question for you, Bones. What is your opinion on the Silence Stem 4? Because we do see it, but extremely rare. It's extremely rare to see a team really loaded, having it on loadout.
I still like it. I don't use it myself, and most pros obviously don't use it. But I think it's super viable still, especially as you the extra 5 bullets spam through smokes a little bit. They don't know where you're at. You know, it becomes really useful, like boosted on Inferno, at CT on B. Anywhere you can get a kill and they kind of have to guess, I think it's great. Yeah, it's viable. It's also insane on land when the no recoil hits.
Nice switch back and forth. I like both.
The A44 just feels so powerful, so consistent. That rate of fire, you know, really helps.
More harassment from Tapson in mid with the silenced M4. Silencers don't silence as much as you might think. We use the silenced MP7, interestingly.
Who's we?
Well, we have a series called Sound CSGO. We'll come to it later because we've got to focus on this push on the A bomb site. Smuya trying to avoid the flashbang, turns around, clears out Roje. He had half a second Roje. Wasn't able to take Smuya out, didn't land enough bullets, and that's a problem. Smuya now focusing on the long position, looking for a flank, which will come in eventually. Bubsky will probably wait for some more action on short first.
Nice pick. Yeah, that's really nice. Finding that vertical shot. It's going to make all the difference, especially with the flanks of the Xantares and Tizian suddenly striking back. And now Big have a presence on the bomb, moving together as a unit. It's the last bit of utility tossed in the off kits. Nice pick from Acor, but the bomb's still being defused. He gets all the kills, but not in time.
Wow.
It's a great 4K, but just can't be fast enough. The AWP is too slow.
Well, Smuya's been losing money by winning rounds, 16k. Have to spend some cash. Acor with another highlight reel, but it's a 0-9 highlight reel. Not the most ideal one.
Super sure didn't have a flash behind Acor here. It's super OP just to have a flash out, flash over as the CTs get on the bomb, and you get easy kills from bricks.
And that's a 9-0. Now things are really starting to feel extremely bad for Big, as opposed to good. Sorry, bad for Tricked.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Well, it could be bad for Big if they lose out. But will they, from what we've seen?
I guess if Tricked get like, well, never mind.
What do you think they're talking about right now?
I don't know.
Okay, everyone's tweeting me saying Whack-A-Mole, but we had a different name for it in the UK.
Maybe it was Jack-A-Mole.
I like that. Let's make it a thing.
Also, James,
Yeah.
you keep saying Ro J, but J's are silent in the Danish language. So it's just Ro.
Just Row.
But what if it's...
But it looks like a Chris J thing, right? So I'm going with Row J.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Go on, tell us, Dan. Tell us about your Scandic translations. Go on.
What
Go
are
on,
you
Dan.
using?
So you think the map pool should... Like, what would be the perfect world for you as far as like the competitive map pool?
I
The
think
way that it works.
minus Vertigo, plus anything else, I would say would be a good start. I think Cobble, bringing it back could be interesting. Obviously, if you have cash, that's new.
Don't you think it's the worst map to ever be in CSGO?
Vertigo.
Not Cobble.
Oh, Cobble, you think that's the worst
I
one?
think it's the worst map.
I think you mean the new version or the one where it was just huge mid in A-Halls area? Like, which version are you talking about?
All of the versions. Except the Halloween version. Pretty partial to that one. That was good.
I liked Cobble because...
I haven't really looked at the new... I don't think I've seen professional play on the new version.
No, the new one is not that good. I do not like that. You can self-boost drop. What is that?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, like, the Cobblestone is just like, if you think a map
It's a
like
pretty
Dust2,
dry viewer experience.
Exactly, and I think it does translate to the fact that it's a bad map, not just because it's boring for viewers, because it's slow, but it's actually, there's just less Counter-Strike happening.
Yeah.
There's one side that, it's like even worse than Dust2 in terms of CT options on, you know, it's just very predictable.
But is it better than Vertigo?
I mean, Vertigo, at least the previous Vertigo is starting to get some entertaining matches.
Yep.
And I think as well, people having to like to understand how to even just defend bomb sites as opposed to, you know, working out how the rounds should actually go. I think mid control was something we didn't really see come into play as much as I think it will come into play.
I started to like it more when we started to see the mid lurk, you know, around sandbags.
Yeah.
It started to feel like CS again on Vertigo, instead of run boosting around and flying across the map.
I think one of the changes I would want to see as well is just like the B bomb site in particular feels really just I just don't like the battles there. It's very confined in a bad way. I mean, like let's say like on Inferno, the B and the A bomb site can be kind of claustrophobic, but they have an open element to them as well. Whereas you basically can't stand anywhere. It feels like you can't stand anywhere.
Yep.
And the peaks are really 50-50 sometimes. I don't know. And also the other issue as well is that if you throw one smoke, it can cover like the entire bomb site, it feels like as well. It's just that's also too much.
Trying to look at the knife, man. Why is it in the shadows? Show me the knife.
From the shadows. The zeros are cool as just like as an aesthetic. Aesthetic? Aesthetic.
I think you need some water, mate.
You
You sound dehydrated.
I was losing
Some
the S
lubrication.
there. Silent S's.
It does look cool, yeah. I have a P250 whiteout and I named it after Henry G because he's super white. So the name tag is #FFFFFF Henry G.
I almost want that knife because the text shows up on the top. I think that's really cool.
It is cool, yeah. I like that it irritates some people. People are way too fussy these days, eh?
So that, it's not like
I
that
named
with
mine
all knives.
OG, my knife. Although there is that other potato knife from CS, but which is kind of reminds me of the default CT knife, or just like the stock knife. Yeah. I don't mind this. I like the lore, but I don't like it as much as an M9 bayonet fade, which I have. I prefer that. So
You like
the
the marble
flip knife
fades?
floor is cool. No,
Oh,
the
the
marble fade
Dopplers?
looks like gangrene or something.
What about Doppler?
I have the red. I have a ruby bayonet. That's really gorgeous. Goes very well with my set.
That's crazy. That's
I
definitely.
used to have one of these Damascus steel karambits. I like it, but I think it looks better in real life than it does in the game. So yeah, Tabson has an internet issue and he's changing his internet, which is why we are back. And if you have just joined us once again, it's 420 days. It's the memeing day for how many days we could draw on the map. But then I guess the next one's 456 or 500 days will be a milestone.
Do you think someone's gonna like Photoshop this?
Do
You'd be
we-
like full of smoke and stuff, or
I don't know if we
Think
can
we
say
get-
milestone because milestone is a positive thing, but this is a negative thing because we want to be able to draw on a map. I don't want to count these days.
well, isn't a milestone kind of like it's a point in which you reach that where something something is different or changes or
You guys use this in the UK?
what's that?
What?
Milestone as opposed to
Yeah.
kilometer stone.
Well, we use miles in the UK, so
Do you?
Yeah.
But kilometers per hour?
we use miles per hour.
That's not English.
I can't believe you just said that. Right. I need the definition for milestone now to see if there is any.
That was good. I like that. I enjoyed that. That was good. You should come in more often.
I'll be back
I feel like I feel like more James needs to get trolled more, and I can only do so much by myself. So this is good.
In fairness, the joke has legitimacy, sadly. Milestone, a stone set up beside a road to mark the distance in miles to a particular place. Ah, so we've seen plenty of milestones. Okay, second definition. A significant stage or event in the development of something,
Yeah. there we
which
go.
is a positive thing. This is a negative thing.
Well, it's a significant change. Doesn't say whether it's positive or not.
A
Right.
significant stage or event in the development of
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, so it could be
That's a
bad, right?
positive thing.
It's like that word consequence. When I say consequence, does that sound negative?
Like
or
negative
positive?
connotation. Yeah.
It has a negative connotation.
Yeah,
I think milestone. I think I would have to agree with James, unfortunately.
I think it quite clearly has a positive connotation.
Yeah.
Especially when you use the word
It's
development.
just semantics, isn't it?
No.
I failed
So
again.
this is not a milestone. This is it's a modern tragedy. Is
How
what it
many
is.
errors?
It's a developing tragedy, but not in the way you use developing with a milestone. So there, it's just a story which is not finished just yet. 420 days. How many days will it be? 499? 500? I'm curious. I'm surprised it went over a year, to be honest.
It might
But here we
help.
are.
When did they take it out? Do you remember the update?
It was when Panorama was introduced, you could still use a command line to use the Scaleform UI, but at some point they removed the Scaleform UI entirely. And it's that day 420 days ago when they removed scale form from the game, and it was only panorama. That's when you could no longer draw on the map.
But that's when you could put yourself in the menu screen.
No, because panorama came out before they removed scale form entirely. You're not listening again, Dan. You've done a very bad job of listening to your co-commentator.
Sorry, I was listening to the producer who told me a funny joke.
Okay, so timelines. Okay, let's go top-down cam if it's set up correctly. All right, timelines. So let's see. This line, this white line here, is the beginning of time. Okay, or of our timeline. So don't. So this pen is the lifetime of scale form. So from our recorded time, okay, whatever. This pen is so this white line is when panorama was introduced, right? And the embassy pen is panorama. So scale form existed, panorama was introduced. They worked together. Well, they were in the game together. And at some point, scale form was removed, and there was only panorama. So I could put myself in the game, and scale form was still here. I had to pick between looking at myself or drawing on the map.
It's like things really went downhill up here.
I'm just going to take my pens away from you. I think that was a great illustration and explanation as to what happened with scale form and panorama. But panorama should be a much more powerful tool, as evidenced by. I don't know. I need to count. I'm trying to find on my Dropbox how many people have downloaded my background in CS.
That would be a major milestone.
Yeah. Anyway, we filled very well. We have filled in a fantastic fashion, and now it is round number 10, and Tricked is still looking for their first round. Internets have been rebooted, restarted, changed, and here we are. Tricked going towards the long position, at least with the flashbangs. Bubsky will take some damage though, and he will eventually make his way out, it seems. In the meantime, Tabson's charged up mid, and he's taken out 2.
That's what Tabson does sometimes. He will just, every so often, he'll be like, I'm going to rush mid this round, and he'll get kills.
We had this discussion yesterday. If you make a play up mid, what is the minimum acceptable frag number? Is it 1? Is it 2? He's got 2.
Well, the cool thing as well is that Tricks were kind of faking long control to pull people into catwalk, to then crush the catwalk rotation. But they just didn't expect Tabson to run up mid, so they kind of foiled everything. So that's a rough situation. Hunden's not long for this world, I fear. Down to 36, he is trapped as well. They know exactly where he is. They are closing around him. He will be slowly but surely asphyxiated, James.
What are they closing around him? Doors?
Closing in around him. And there it is. He'll try to escape, but the grip tightens until he is no more.
I think the good news for Tricked is they can still try a bunch of different things, because none of what they have tried has worked, so just do something else. They can try anything else. What do you think they should try?
5-man long.
Have we seen a B split?
We have not.
Except the Creek rounds, they tried a B split. That was it. That's round 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the only one. Smooya.
Giving them too much space right now, I think.
Ah, here's a B split. Oh, that's a nice smoke.
What's happened there?
Oh god, it's even worse smoke. There's these 3 smokes.
Well, the first smoke I think was for the CTs to cross. And there's a big headshot through the window. Tizian by the door will take out Shush, looking in mid. Won't see much of anything else. He's got a pop flash for his teammates to swing through the smoke. But in the meantime, the bomb site has been taken by Tricked. Big outmaneuvered despite having a man advantage. That can come into play later. They've got a HE that could go behind the big box. Did Smooya, I think he probably would have flicked if he saw anything there. Bubsky looking to creep through the door. There are 2 flashes here for Tricked as well, but on Acorn, surely he wants to help keep his AWP up. Smoke's dissipating. Bubsky's going to get 2. That could change everything. This could be the first round for Tricked. How much do Big want to lose at this point? They found a molly for Xantares, and now it's just Xantares. This has not been the best retake we've seen. Xantares by the doors. He's 1-on-1. He's going to get an opportunity to take something out at the very least. Spraying. But this is going to be the first round for Trick. Too late to defuse the bomb. He'll collect an AW. No, he won't. There is one that will be sent in his direction, though.
So one thing to note here, we were talking about the smokes and how you play with the smokes and how you get the one-ways. We saw Bubsy abusing that. I was wondering if he was going to because he's sitting here. But look, just as it goes away, they can't see him, but he can see them.
I think this is an odd retake attempt. You should either, if you're man up, send a guy tunnel especially. They didn't do that. A lot of time the bomb just got planted. And if you are gonna go forward through doors and window, then you need a flash. You can't just wait around, hope for the best. And I think a little bit of a lazy retake from Big.
Maybe Big just wanted to give Trick some hope so they could take it away and increase the amount of pain. So this is an important position, and Smee doesn't want to use his smoke too early here. Wants to try to use it at the best possible time so that Trick are as invested as possible. Maybe they'll use more utility. They still have 4 Molotovs, or 3 Molotovs, Tricked, so they can try to molly Smee out of position, and it is a must. You have to get rid of this position.
All 5 Trick players are long A.
So they did your round, and now they're trying mine.
They did my round?
Yeah.
What's
just
my round?
last round,
Oh, the B split.
Yeah, and they won.
All right, well, Tizian's made his way through B, so he has the information. There are only 2 flashes here, though, for the CT side. One of which is on Tizian in the B halls. The other one is on Xantares, hasn't been deployed just yet.
Here comes a flash flood.
Yeah, there's no... It's going to be about the guns next with 2 on top of the boxes, and Xantares will clean up 2 as well. Everything changes. Acor gets another 1v1, but Tabson will abuse that numbers advantage and trade before he can fire again. Big back to winning ways, expensive round, but there aren't that many rounds left in this half. And Trick's money is not great for this round.
Yeah. Again, it's just seems very devastating. Xantares and Tabson having really a lot of impact, both huge individuals to this map. Smee is doing well with the orb. Nice double from next there. I don't actually often see that defense on over the top of the smoke. And again, we saw Trick do this before, flashing over to long position, really making it look like a long take. Hunter's there to really sell it, and then that'll pull players to long, and they're out of position to defend the A bomb site. And now the push from the A bomb site comes up catwalk, and Smee will spot one, can't get the tag, and he'll go back actually after placing one in CT spawn. Fast moving around, Acor's going to get a pick, but next behind the doors, they just don't have time to clear it properly with utility, and it is a free round it feels like for Big ultimately. But what a change of pace.
I want to see what the Dust2 win rate is for Trick. Because in Overpass T side, I feel like they had a much better idea of kind of how to mess with the rotations, get some map control and reset. Here it just kind of seems all in every round. It's either 5-man something or a 3-2 split, but there's never that thought of, okay, let's get some map control, reset, and do something
50%
together.
50% in 12 maps.
Yeah.
In the last 3 months. Smee out with a peek in mid, but the Krieg will deny him in brutal fashion. Acor, I think he's going for the AWP. Next will try to cover it though. He will do so successfully. Tizian with control of long. Samson's got to be careful here, or does he? Looking for a 2-man spray down. That bomb may be lost soon, Hunden falling away from the HE grenade. Shush making his way into B in the meantime, and everything is on fast forward in round number 14. The Tricks are falling just as fast as their plays. That was a rough one. Another rough one.
Yeah. This is one of those series where Tricks to win it have to get to the 3rd map. Overpass and train are their best maps. Obviously they lost Overpass and they're getting kind of schooled here on Dust2. So they will not get to see train unless they are able to step things up. Xantares, Smee, and everybody from Big is really delivering damage. More nades over the top of the longhouse to try to flash space for Hunden. Once again, they're running exact same opening as the previous round. This time it's going a little bit better. Will they commit into A this time? They have to have the flashbangs here. They've got to have the right utility to deal with the players on the bomb site, especially Smee. Oh, could be in trouble. Misses the flick shot, can't get into safety in time. Smee's committed positioning. It's going to cause some problems.
Might be the 2nd round here for Trick, looking very likely. Big has horrible positions, moonwalking into Hunden and Acor. 2 rounds for Trick at halftime, a disastrous T side to put it politely. Do they have anything left in the second half? We'll find out after the break.
Start your path to pro. Begin your matchmaking experience with like-minded players. Climb the ranks, meet your teammates, and make it all the way to the top. Rise through the ranks to the FPL circuits and play alongside the best players in the world. And who knows, you might just be the next Saiwu. Begin your road to pro at faceit.com.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
And we are live indeed. 13-2. It's been a one-sided story so far. Will it be a one-sided story in this half? We will bear witness. You tried to. I was not done with my story, Dan. We will bear
I was
witness.
clearing my
Do
throat.
you know what? I'm done.
Acors ready and lined up, but it's Xantares, of course. I feel like Xantares
What if I just start talking now,
must
like
get
you did?
dropped a P250.
What then?
Tabson has a P250. Where's Xantares at with the P250? I feel like Xantares, just if you have him on your team, drop him a P250.
Sure. Well, looks like he'll have enough bullets with the Glock to follow up after the first headshot, but again, I do agree with you. Simple gets the peak to 50s now for Na'Vi.
Nice.
And they have a man advantage now. No USPs collected just yet. There's one on Smooya. Keeping the sound cues minimal. Does Tabson know the MSL smoke into CT spawn? He's going for the long one.
Yes.
The telegraphed one.
I think Big actually
this is
came
not
up
an
with
MSL.
this.
Oh.
This is not an MSL smoke. The MSL smoke is from near where Smooya is standing, just a little wider. You bounce it off the wall near the boost spot, and it goes into CT, so like a really close one. A lot faster than that, so you're not telegraphing your intention very much. But of course, it comes with inherent risk as well.
I like that.
But when you're in a sticky situation, you can find it on my YouTube.
I'll check it out.
James Bard of CS. All the premium information is there.
Well, Big and not in a sticky situation. No stickiness to be had. Everything is smooth, gliding effortlessly forwards to a victory as they pick up their pistol. The second pistol.
What's
Oh,
not
dear.
smooth is that. And also, Nex has 3 dashes after his name.
Face it name. Face it username. He likes himself some hyphens. Tricked trying to do what they can in a very bad situation, but things go from bad to worse. Nex could turn things around. He's sorry, Roger we're talking about. No, he won't. He's dead. Dead of course now. And it's match point for Big. They've got 13 match points. It's not looking great for Tricked. Not quite gravy. More coagulated than that.
Curdled.
Yes. Fatberg.
Oh man. It's a rough situation. Don't do it, Smooya. Don't take one out right at the beginning of the round. Give him a chance. Flash. Tizian. Nice little burst off the back of the flash.
Off the back.
Full utility still maintained. This is a great spot for a CT smoke and not the cross smokes. Because that way Trick get exposed, you have all the utility to prevent them from really doing anything. But they may not even need to drop any smokes at this rate. They're able to get a pick. There's not much aggression from Trick. They're just holding their ground at catwalk. And right now, for Trick, there's a question of, okay, are Big going to commit to long or are they going to spread out? And they've waited around catwalk for a while to see what Big are up to. But Big have time to burn. And you know what? They're going to convert that time into another kill just by holding. 5v3 now. Now they can just brute force it up A without really worrying about much. Oh, that's a big miss. That was supposed to that's supposed to be a smoke that was
That's a very easy smoke to do.
And
You stand at the back in the corner, and you aim at the top of the arch thing. Go above that to the straight line above it, and you just throw it. It's very, very easy.
Big's comms are on point. Next sees the guy cat. The long guys immediately start running up long because they know it's going to be weak. They're just better on this map.
Damn. Just like that, 16-2. Big crushing it. 21 for 5 Xantares.
Dan, these highlights are brought to you by